Good afternoon, ladies, gents, boys and girls, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are back in the PMDG 737-800, sat here on the ground at the newly updated Inibuilds Stansted. We're going to be taking this 737-800 Golf Delta Foxtrot Zulu, one of JET2's oldest aircraft. We're going to be flying it down to Dalaman today. It's parting off at 04 here at Stansted and arriving back into Dalaman on runway 19. The flight plan today takes us south out of the UK, over France, just down past Switzerland, over the entire length of Italy, cutting across Albania, and then exiting over Greece, Thessaloniki, down past Izmir, and then descending into Dalaman. We're arriving on the Arnav 19, which is quite a nice approach through the mountains. It's early morning here, and the weather in the UK is not the best. A couple of thunderstorms around the whole of the UK, especially the south, and the winds are quite blustery. Apart from that, though, when we get down to Dalaman, the weather should be really nice. So we'll get the aircraft set up. We're here cold and dark at the moment, just waiting for passengers. So, sat here in the flight deck. Let's go and do the overhead panel. So we go battery on. Emergency exit lights on, ground power on, and while we wait for the aircraft to boot itself up, we'll get all our systems loaded on the EFB. So our departure today, so the winds are actually quite calm, it's just overcast. And then when we arrive into Dalaman, we're arriving on runway 109 and it's 190 at 11 knots, straight down the nose. The arrival's quite interesting. You sort of descend down a mountain range, offset, and then cut in, so it's quite cool. We're cruising at 330 initially, but we will go higher, and then the taxi down here is quite long. But Stansted, we're going to push back here onto B West, and then we're going to taxi straight down to 04 via hotel full length. So let's get the IRSs on, so nav and nav. Window heats can come on. We'll get the middle fuel pump on the left, just so we can get the APU on shortly. That can come on as well. Get the packs into auto, and the hydraulic pumps can come on as well. We'll go up to 330 as our initial cruise altitude, and we'll get the landing reference plugged in. Let's jump down into FS actions, and we're going to go fuel. We're taking 15 tons of fuel today, and a payload of 58.3, and that gives us a flight time of 4 hours 5 minutes down to Dalaman today, so it's quite a long one. It's actually quite long for Dalaman. Right, so we've loaded that. We've got FMC, pausing it, wait for that. We are at Echo Golf Sierra, and we're on gate 23 left. 9 decibels, that's fine. Wait for the IRSs to align, set the parking brake though. And we'll get the traffic on both sides as well. The nice thing about the update for the Inibuilds Stansted, they've updated the interior modelling a bit, I believe, and it's made a great deal of difference on performance. It's nicer. They've upgraded some things as well, but it was quite a big update. It's 2.5 gig, so it's done quite a lot. It's a really nice scenery still though. All the Inibuild stuff's really nice, so I thought we'd fly the Stansted. And the scenery when we get to Dalaman is just Sim. I think it's £8 on the store. It does the job. It looks like Dalaman, and all the runway markings are correct and stuff. So right, now we should be able to get the left GPS in, pop that in, and we'll pop in our routes. We'll go Echo Golf Sierra, and we are going to Lima Tango Bravo Sierra company route. Pop that in, activate. We are Chanex 81 Golf. We're taking off of runway 04. We're departing 04 on the Nugba 1 Sierra. Lovely, and we are arriving into Dalaman on the Arnav 19 on the Sonu 1 Zulu. via Atom, and we'll jump through that to see if the plan's all okay. Look for any discontinuities, it shouldn't be. So we go plan, step, so it's a left hand turn after departure, max altitude of 5,000 feet, so set landing because that's our stop altitude. So 5,000, and we're going to continue, and that's our cut across, and then into Dalaman via Atom, and like I said it's offset, and then we sort of, I'll disconnect just before Bravo Sierra 11 Zulu, Z7, sorry, I don't know why I said Zulu, and I'll hand flight in. It's an hour now, so it should take us down quite low. There's high terrain around Dalaman as well, the runway, so it keeps us quite high before it descends us. So I have to get flaps out early, but that should be okay. Get RTO on the auto brake, we'll go init reference now, route Perth, and we'll get all this. We'll request the init reference, and it will just take it from our SimBrief flight plan. I am using SimBrief for all my flight plans today, and all the data we use for everything. I use the takeoff performance calculator that's built into the 737 and all the PMDG products to calculate takeoff and landing data. There is one built into SimBrief, but I don't use that unless the aircraft doesn't have a built-in performance calculator. I'll go 6,000 there. Our reserves are actually 3, and that's to get to roads, but I just want to make sure we have plenty. We're going up to, well, it says 350, okay, that's fine. It said 330 on the flight plan, but we'll go 350 then if it's give us 35. That seems a bit better actually. We'll get the yaw damper on now. Right, so we've got 15 tons of fuel, 58 tons, 0.3, 3 tons reserve, cost index of 80. We're going to cruise at 350 initially. We'll go up higher than that. We just have to wait until we burn some fuel. Get a bit lighter. Let's jump into the performance calculator. So we are on 04 here at Stansted. That's our way. That's the weather. So it's saying takeoff, full takeoff with a D rate of 47 degrees, flat 5, trim of 6 on the dot. We're going to go 148, 149, 153, and that's our takeoff in pounds. Lovely. So, N1, we're going to do takeoff, so full 26k today, 47 degrees selected temperature, and that gives us 94 degrees N1, which is correct. Takeoff flap 5, stab trim of 6, 148, 149, 153. We'll get 153 plugged into the autopilot panel, and then we'll get 6 units of trim plugged in here. Lovely, and then we'll pop down here, we'll go fix info, Echo Golf, Sierra Sierra, we'll go /5, and then runway 19 for Dalaman, /5, /10, and then /115, or actually we'll go /120, because we're going to go higher. So all this is 5 nautical miles away from the runway threshold. We're going to be fully configured, because it's an RNAV, it's quite a steep RNAV as well, and there's lots of terrain around. I want to be fully configured with gear down flat 30 minimum by 5 miles. 10 miles is where I want to be minimum flat 1. We will be flat 5 by then hopefully, and then 120 is when we start our descent into Dalaman. Just gives us a nice big green ring on the screen, so I can sort of roughly judge when we're going to descend and see it more in advance and get everything set up. That is the pre-flight check complete on the FMC. Everything is set up nicely, so what we'll do is we'll go seatbelt signs on, refuel is complete, we'll get all the fuel pumps on, we'll get the APU on as well now. We'll go right ignition for today, and we'll get map on. Just waiting for the IRSs to align, which is 2 minutes away. And the QNH today down here in Stansted is 1014. So change that and we'll go 1014. Let's just have a quick look at the weather in Dalaman again. 19, so it looks okay. Then what we'll do is we'll go back to the flight plan and we'll have a look at weather en route, because the routing today does take us on a bit of a bus stop tour of Europe, and I'm assuming it's because of weather, maybe, because if you look, that should be the most direct route unless the winds are really strong. So that we're in this big sort of cloud cell here, as you can see, that goes down right sort of Madrid, central Spain, over the Balearic Islands, Mahon, Ibiza, Mallorca, sort of Alicante, Barcelona, Reyes, Andorra here. There's big thunderstorms, so we're going to cut through the middle of that, straight through France, straight underneath Switzerland, Italy, cut across Albania, and then over Thessaloniki, which is here, and then down into Turkey. Weather on route looks fine. Might get a bit bumpy, sort of over France, Switzerland way. We'll be at well, it says 370 there, so try and climb to 39, but I think we'll be stuck in that, so we just have to watch it. And winds en route look alright, so that should be okay. The APU should be on now, so we'll get that on bus, and the APU bleed can come on now. Iris should be aligning any second. We'll take a look at this livery. So this livery was on the flightsim.to website. It is one of Jet2's oldest aircraft, Golf Delta Foxtrot Zulu. It's on the flightsim.to website. It's created by Inibuilds, I believe. They do a lot of nice ones. They do the red Jet2 livery, and this is the holidays livery. There's two liveries. There's the normal red one, which is grey and red, and then this is the holidays. They also do Ryanair ones and some others, but brilliant, really nice liveries. It comes with 4K and 8K textures, and the wings have some nice sort of oil effects. Like I said, because this is an older aircraft, it's going to have some wear and tear, and I do like looking at it like that. Right, okay. IRSs are aligned now, so what we'll do is we'll go menu, Atom. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to stay on V now, but when we get to Atom, because I've done a test sector, well, I know I've asked some real pilots about it as well, because I did this route the other day in real life as a cabin crew, and we did this approach for my company I work for. And it was quite interesting, and they said they went flat 10 with speed brake after Atom because it's quite a steep descent, and so that's what we're going to do. We might not need it because we've got a strong headwind, so we're going to remove the chocks and we're going to ask the jetway to disconnect, and we're going to go LNAV for departure. Oh sorry, we'll go left flight director, right flight director, LNAV. We're going to have a look. So what we'll do is we'll climb up to, I think it's NADP2, so it's 3,000 feet. So we'll go radio altimeter and we'll go up to 3,340. So we'll go up to 3,340 and then we'll go vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute. We'll go up at 3,000 as well. But actually no, it's 1,500. 1,500, sorry, so we'll go 840 feet we'll go. 1,840 feet. And that's when we'll bug up and we'll go vertical speed like I said. But let's get the pushback set up then. So pre-planned pushback. And we'll go on to this taxiway here. Request pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Lovely.
This is ground. Stand by.
So we're just waiting for this dude to clear off here, and then we can push back. It should be gone shortly. Yeah,
Okay,
he's
sir.
gone.
The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Right, so release parking brakes.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
And I'm happy to do so. APU bleeds on. Packs are off. Engine number 2 start.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
Parking
Right,
brake
so we get
set.
engine number
Lowering
1
aircraft.
started now. Same again.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position
Thank
waiting
you.
for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Fuel can come in. That's engine number 1 starting nicely now. So it looks like we're going to have 2 good starts on the engines. There's the cutout. Wait for the red bar to disappear. And the engines are stable. So let's do the overheads paddle scan. So we go left and right, gen on, maybe you can come off, taxi light on, start switch is continuous, probe heat on, pack left and right on, isolation valve auto, APU bleed off. We're going to go flaps 1, 2 and 5, blank the lower DU, we'll make sure we've got travel on the flaps which will show here, so we'll have leading edge flaps will come out in a sec. There you go. They're in transit. And the flaps coming out now. So we have 5 in the, I'll go on here, 5 selected, 5 indicated, and we'll do flight control check. So we'll go full right, neutral, full left, neutral, full forward, neutral and full back, neutral. Now for the rudders, left, neutral, right, neutral. Flight control's not very correct. Pre-takeoff checklist, so we've got parking brake set, trim 6, 153, 5000 set, LNAV, flight director on the captain side is indicated and on. We're going to bug up at 1500 feet, left hand turn, cruise at 5000 for a little bit before going up to our cruise altitude of 350, which is indicated there. We're going to taxi straight here, first left down to the end, full length, and everything's alright. So, release the parking brake, we'll add a bit of thrust, and we'll taxi on down. I'm going to speed this one up, guys, because it's going to be a bit of a long taxi, and I'll see you when we're at the hold point on the end of runway 04. Right, hello and welcome back. We're just going to taxi back onto hotel, going full length down to 04. Bit of a long taxi. I did check, they're not taking off at 22 right today. 22, sorry, today. They're taking off at 04. Probably should have taxied on to the hotel taxiway a bit earlier, but it's okay. Not got too long. As you can see, the windsock is blowing a bit. I don't know if the windsock's really working this, but it looks like we're going to have a slight crosswind coming from the left. Lovely. So what we'll do, cabin crew can begin to sit down, get the tax lights, or the takeoff lights on now. Don't need the retractables out. And there we go. Right, so cap 2 and 3, runway 4 ahead. Let's do a rolling takeoff, might as well. Not on VATSIM, so we'll get the clock started. I hope they fix the bumps on the wing. It looks like they have. Okay, so spool them up, 40%. Stable, toe gap. Oh, stable, toe gap. There you go. Oh, got a master caution. No, we don't. It's gone. No, it's alright. So, speed's alive.
80 knots.
Checked. Neutral now.
Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. LNAV. And we'll go. Still hand flying, of course. I'm going to do this left turn. And I'm going to go flat one, and we'll go vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute, and we'll go up to 240. Still continuing that turn. Flaps up. Commando. And it's going to continue that turn. So we'll go landing gear up and off. The brake can be set to 0, still 1,000 feet per minute. as we climb up. That was quite a nice takeoff actually. Get all these off now. Right, so let's have a quick look at how long we're going to be at 5,000 foot. So it's a Nugbo, which is, as we go through our first freeze, it's just because we're close to London. It'll snap out of it in a second. There you go. Oh, back in. Okay, so Nugbo. So what we'll do is we'll go VNAV. It's going to go to 250. That's fine. We're going to go up to our cruise of 350. Right, so the aircraft's pretty stable. I'll leave it in a second because we are going through some quite harsh cloud. Zoom out of it. So 250 knots at 5,000. And what we'll do, just get the ball rolling. Silvat direct. There's that turn. Cruise up to 350. We're going to get the cabin crew out of their seats so they can start their in-flight service. And we're approaching 6,700 standard. And up we go. Starting to be above the clouds now. There's 7,000. Lovely. It was really nice actually. A lot to do when you leave London as well, because of all these restrictions of height and speed and stuff, but that's quite nice. What I'll do now, guys, is we're approaching 10,000, so I'll leave you with some climb cruise highlights. And I will see you in 3.5 hours when we are, well, descending to Dalaman. descending through 13,000 feet. We are on QLH 1007. Weather down in Dalaman is okay. Winds have calmed down slightly. It's 209 knots, so basically straight down the runway. Not too bad. It's 30 degrees down there, so it's very nice. We are about to reach 9,000 feet at Atom, which is there. We've got our desal point coming up as well. Seatbelt sign's been on for about 15 minutes now. It's been quite bumpy as we've come down actually, from the mountain ranges. It's probably all them thermals because it's so hot. We've had some stunning scenery as we've descended over Izmir. Setting up the arrival, as you can see we've got our desal point. So what I'm going to do, pull out the speed brake and help it out a little bit. If we jump into the, if we can find the right button, we're going to go flat 40. Now the reason I'm going flat 40 is because if we look here, we've got a drop from 9,000 to 6,500, which it's already told us in the FMC it's going to be steep. So we're going to be flat 1 short, right? And we cross Bunham and then onto Atom, but flat 1. Then we've got, let me actually speed select 240. I want to bet 240 knots. So we get 6,500, 5,000, 3,400, 2,500, 1,700 and 343. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 1,500. Right. We're going to go auto brake 3, flat 40. The reason we're going to go flat 40 is because it's going to be steep, it's an RNAV, and we're going to hand fly it. When I did the test sector I did flat 30, flat 40. So I did flat 30 and it was giving me sort of the feet per minute of just over 1,000, so I don't think we were stable at flat 30. And the speed was on as well. But flat 40, we were sitting there at about 950 feet per minute, quite nice, and we were a lot more stable. So I thought that would be the best option. Speed brake will come in now as we come over the hillside. And as we're descending into the terrain, I know it's a clear day, we can see everything, but we get terrain on as well. And the landing light's going to come on as well. Lovely. Right, so we're on VNAV. Right, so we're coming up to Atom. It's told a steep descent again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 220 knots. Speed brake's going to be slightly half. And when we get below 240, we're going to go flat 1. So we get speed brake fully out now. Try and get that rate of descent. 240, flat 1. And the speed brake's going to be probably, most likely, out for the whole descent into the, until we get gear down flat 15. So it wants us now is at 210 buckle, which is that one there. See, there you go, so we're going 2,000 feet per minute nearly, struggling to keep that speed, so we go 210, which is the up speed, and we'll keep the speed brake out, like I said. And as you can see, the hillside is quite high and we have to come in sort of at an angle, we're almost there, so we're going to come in, I'm going to disconnect and fly round into the turn. So 2,100 feet per minute with 230 knots. Much speed brake because I can physically get out of the aircraft. We'll go down to the flat 1 speed. I'm going to go flat 2. And see if that helps. 5. Really struggling to slow down now, the aircraft is. So we'll keep it like this. I think the speed's under control, still quite far out, so we'll keep it flat 5, speed brake extended. As you can see, it's very, very windy, so all those thermals and winds off the sides of the mountain because it's so hot. I mean, the ortho's nice, really nice, just like bits like that over there. It's just default, but the rest is really nice. Right, let's concentrate then. Update the weather one more time. 100% sure, 1007, lovely. 8 knots, yeah, that looks okay. It's a bit bumpy. Descending nicely now, we're still bang on V now. And the runway's coming into view and the airport's loaded in now, as you can see. So we are quite offset, so it's going to bring us, then I'll disconnect it. I've got a long runway, like I said, flat 40, speed, auto brake set to 3, should be alright. For this approach, everything happens quite quickly, as you can see. Get the flaps out early to maintain the speed. And we'll have to get the gear out early as well. So as soon as we reach LDEP
2500,
and have to turn and get the gear down. So what we'll do actually is we'll go gear down, speed brake in, flat 15, speed brake, arm, green light. Taxi lights on, start switch is continuous, cabin crew told to sit down. We have a final approach speed of 139 plus 5, 144. Speed brake is arm, landing gear is down. Speed still quite high. Speed's coming down now.
approaching minimums.
Approaching minimums. Continue. Right, we'll go down to 700. Flat 30, and we'll go 144, sorry. And then when we get under that white bar, so 1, and there's full flat. Still bang on LNAV, VNAV. 144's engaged. There's the thrust coming up. We managed that quite nicely with all the energy we burned, so I'm quite happy with that. So let's do some hand flying. That's my aeroplane. And we're going to take the flight directors away. And we're going to go up to our cruise. 9,000 is our go around. Lovely. Speed's quite nice. So we'll leave it about there. Checked. 3 white, 1 red. Trying to correct that. 2 red, 2 white now, bang on. Watching that rate of descent, 950, keep it there.
400.
400 jet.
300. 200.
4 red, that doesn't seem right.
100. 50.
No.
30. 20. 10.
And down we are. Speed brakes up, reverses out. Decelerating quite nicely now. Manual braking. Everything can be stowed now. Lovely, and we'll get off a high speed here. Slow down quite nicely. The pappies were well off though. We were banged on the 2 red, 2 white. If you watch it back, it went from 2 red, 2 white to 4 red. So it's probably just a misalignment, but we got it down nicely, all within limits. It's quite an interesting approach, really. And we'll taxi off of here. Welcome down to Dalaman. Flight time is 3 hours and 50 minutes, so we are early. What we'll do is we'll get the spoilers in. Flaps can come up as well. Get those on. Terrain to come off. And that was pretty good. I'm happy with that. As you can see, now we're at ground level. Look at those hills. That's where we just had to fly over. It's crazy. The other runway is, well, the opposite reciprocal runway. It's just an ILS. You just fly over the sea and then come in like we do in Antalya. But actually, there's a similar RNAV into Antalya. That's the same. It's roughly, you come over like so a lot smaller hills, but you have to keep up to the speed a lot. We've made it on time. And we'll clean up the MCP panel. Get the APU on the bus now. And our terminal, it's not this one here, this is for domestics, so the Turkish 777 will land there, parked over there and there, and then sort of all the domestic routes. The international terminal where JET2, TUI, Condor, or the German ones park is here. So we'll take this left in it with the next one, and then we'll take any stand with an air bridge. This here is by JET2, like I said earlier. It's okay, it's nice. It's got no interior model, but it's really good on frames, so I really don't mind. But it is quite cheap as well. Every time there's a sale, it's like £6, which is really nice. And I will take the stand on the right hand side here. 39, that'll do. So taxi light can come off now. And that's us done there. Parking brake is set. Engines off. Cabin crew and passengers released. Get the bleed on because it is 30 degrees out there. That off as well. Stop transmitting. Beacon light can come off now. Get the engine page on. Get the window heat off. And that's us done for the shutdown. So we'll jump into the FMC. We'll go menu, FS actions, ground services. We've got some chocks. We'll ask Dalaman ground to get us some ground services. Request jetway, and we'll have ground power, a fuel truck, lab trim for water we'll need, and the loaders to get the holiday makers bags off. So while they're unloading and unloading, that was a nice little flight. 3 hours 50 minutes, not bad actually. That sounds more like a Dalaman flight, especially travelling eastbound. It's usually longer coming back. We weren't helped with those storms over sort of southern France, and then over Italy. They were quite bad. I didn't record them, but they were quite high cloud ceilings and thunderstorms. Well, it wasn't too bumpy actually. I thought it was going to be a bit worse, but all that weather cleared up, and all the way down Italy and across into sort of Albania and Greece. It was smooth flying conditions all the way down, which is pretty typical for this time of year. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I really enjoyed it. Flying the 7.3 as usual. PMDG, sorry. Flies fantastic, especially with the newest update. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again, guys, in the next video.